Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin our lineups and introductions for the fourth and final game of the opening round, we have a special ceremony, and to conduct the ceremony on the field and MC it is the voice of Rapid City American Legion Post 22 Baseball, Mr. Tom Rudebush.
Okay, thank you very much. What a beautiful evening for baseball. State tournament time was always a special time. And of course, Coach Dave Bluth won 34 South Dakota State American Legion Baseball Championships. He won 8 Central Plains Regional Championships. And of course, that meant 8 World Series appearances. And of course, we all remember the 1993 American Legion National Baseball Champion. I know Dave was very proud of that national title, but I know one of the other highlights in the World Series was when the Post 22 team won the Central Plains Regional in Mandan, North Dakota in 2005 and played in the American Legion World Series right here at Fitzgerald Stadium. We'd like to take a moment tonight to recognize Dave, his accomplishments, not only on the state level from the American Legion, locally here with Post 22, but today we received an executive proclamation from the state of South Dakota and the office of the governor. And it says, whereas the American Legion Baseball Program was founded on the belief of athletic competition, teaching courage and respect for others, fostering their growth into active citizens, was established in 1925 in Millbank, South Dakota. And whereas Dave Bluth coached the Rapid City American Legion 22 baseball team from 1965 to 2011 with a compiled record of 2,483 wins to 808 losses, making him the winningest coach in the history of American Legion baseball. Whereas Dave Bluth led his team to 34 state titles, 8 World Series appearances, and in 1993, with a record of 70 wins, 5 losses, won the national title. And whereas from 1970 to 1987, Post 22 won 18 state titles in a row, a national record. Dave passed away at the age of 80 on May 28th with his loving wife Patty at his side. And whereas it is fitting and proper as governor to make special note of this outstanding member of the South Dakota Sports Hall of Fame. Now therefore, I, Dennis Dugard, Governor of the state of South Dakota, do hereby proclaim July 26, 2017 as Dave Bluth Day. And now to present Patty with a special memorial award from the South Dakota American Legion Baseball is the league commissioner, Dan Sudler.
Good evening, everybody. First thing I'd like to do is welcome Patty back to Fitzgerald Stadium and to her post-22 family. So please stand up and give her a big hand, all right? And when you're all done here, make sure you go visit with her, all right? She's your best supporter. Every time when Dave had a game, Patty was out here working on the field. So hopefully you can get her back to do that again, too. So, anyway, the Athletic Commission would like to thank Dave for all his service to American Legion Baseball. As stated previously, 2,483 wins, 47 years of service to American Legion Baseball. I mean, that is quite an accomplishment for anybody. So, presented by the commission members, which is myself, Paul Hardhars, John Kirchner, Elton Bleemaster, Gene Gillen, and Bo Garcia. Patty, thank you very much.
You know, Dave had many accomplishments, as you noted tonight, but I think Dave's greatest move as a head coach was made in 1987 when he brought a new assistant coach into the program. And finally, just to honor Dave, we would like to draw your attention to the left field fence, if we could. Now there's a blue tarp, and there it comes down. Coach Dave Taylor. Dave will forever live here at Fitzgerald Stadium. Not only did he influence baseball in Rapid City, he influenced baseball in South Dakota, he influenced baseball in the Central Plains region, and he had a great influence on Legion baseball after national office. Thank you, Dave Plouffe. Thank you all.
Okay, we'll just have a starting lineup, please.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium here in Rapid City. And today's sponsor, Rapid City American Legion Post 22. It is time for the fourth and final game of the opening round of the 2017 South Dakota State Class A Senior American Legion Baseball Tournament. Today's game features the visiting team on the scoreboard, Sioux Falls Post 15 East, and the home team on the scoreboard, the Rapid City Post 22 Hardhats. At this time, we'll introduce first the reserves and then the starters for each team, and we ask that they come out to their respective baselines once their name is called. We'll begin with the visitors from Sioux Falls East. Non-starters, number 5, Cordell Walker. Number 7, Joel Swenson. Number 11, Nate Nelson. Number 14, Austin Ruland. Number 15, Jacob Lincoln. Number 17, Joe Sudbeck. 19, Nolan Bear. The batting order for Sioux Falls East, leading off and playing second base, number 1, Matt Hadeen. Batting second and playing right field, number 6, Alex Hughes. Batting third and playing third base, number 9, Mitchell Polk. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, number 20, Brandon Ford. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, number 4, Elliott Barnes. Hitting sixth and playing first base, number 12, Austin Kubik. Batting seventh and catching, number 3, Nick Kemper. Hitting eighth and playing left field, number 2, Logan Wheeler. Having ninth for center fielder, number 16, Siler Melvin. The starting pitcher tonight is number 13, Matt Graham. Assistant coach Dylan Platt and the head coach. Playing left field, number 17, Todd Stevens. Batting ninth for designated hitter, number 30, Jack Sorensen. And the starting pitcher, number 10, Miley McSherry. Assistant coaches are Jason Hurley and Nick Newman, and the head coach of Rapid City Post 22 is Mitch Messer. Umpiring the team's contest behind the plate is Steve Craig. At first base is Bob Bennett, and at third base is Greg Warren. At this time, we ask that you all please rise and remove your hats for the reading of the American Legion Code of Sportsmanship by the First Lady of Rapid City Post 22 Baseball, Patty Poole.
This is a an honor for me. And I want you to know that these will connect up with the court.
See, it's automatically playing commercials, but
Repeat after me. I will.
is it the pause button that makes them stop, maybe? So
Keep
that
faith with my teammates.
start
Keep
going.
my temper. Keep myself fed.
Am I
Keep
ready to
a
get
stout heart in the beat.
Maybe not. Maybe that
Keep
pauses
my
the
pride
commercial all
in
the way.
victory.
Oh boy, what did I...
Hi everyone from Fitzgerald Stadium. It's Post 22 baseball on the air tonight as Post 22 begins the state tournament. And their first round opponent is Sioux Falls East, a team that the Hardhats played earlier in the season, and Post 22 was a 9-7 winner over Sioux Falls East back on Saturday, the 17th of June. So Post 22 tonight, the final game of the day. We've had 3 previous games. Brandon Valley into the winner's bracket with a 9-5 win over Aberdeen. Pierre defeated Mitchell by a score of 8-2. And it was Renner defeating I should say Pierre beat Sioux Falls West 8-6, and then Renner beat Mitchell 6-2. And now post 22 and Sioux Falls East as Patty Plouffe throws out the first ball to start the game tonight. We've had some great ceremonies. Governor Dugard has proclaimed today Dave Plouffe Day in South Dakota. We've had the unveiling of the number 34 in left field for the honor of Dave Plouffe. Big board out there with the red jersey and number 34 on the back. And then the South Dakota State American Legion gave an award to Patty on Dave's behalf. So, as we get set to start, let's quickly look at the starting lineups. Matt Hedin at second base leads off for Sioux Falls East. And then Alex Fuchs will be in right field batting second. Mitchell Tolk at third base batting third. Brandon Ford is the designated hitter batting cleanup. Elliot Barnes is the shortstop batting fifth for East. Austin Kubek, the first baseman, batting sixth. Nick Kemper, the catcher, batting seventh. Logan Mueller at second in left field hitting eighth. And Seiler Melvin is the center fielder batting ninth. Matt Graham, the starting pitcher for Sioux Falls East with a record of 31-24. For the Hardhats, Walker Paz will lead off at second base. Justin Kramer will be at third base batting second. Cooper Bowman will play at shortstop and bat third. Batting fourth, Zach Solano in right field. Zach Sumption in center field will bat fifth. Timmy Paris, the catcher, will bat sixth. Luke Ferdinand at first base will bat seventh. Todd Stevens, the left fielder, will bat eighth. And batting ninth is Jack Sorensen, the designated hitter, with Riley McSherry on the mound. Mark Benetti will join us momentarily here as Matt Hedin leads off, the left-handed batting second baseman for West. And the first pitch from McSherry is in for a strike. We're underway at 7:34 this evening. And our game time temperature, 81 degrees. Hedin hitting .371 for East. And the pitch on the way is a fastball right on the outside corner. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. As we said, the Hardhats 9-7 winners earlier in the season over East. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a foul down and back. Hedin just got a piece of it. And the count runs along at 0-2. In that game, the starting pitcher for post 22 was Will Moore, and then Dylan Ritchie and Trey Eberline worked in relief. McSherry's pitch on the way, swung on, tapped up the first baseline. First baseman Ferdinand gloves it only a couple of feet from the bag and makes the unassisted put out. So there's one away in the Sioux Falls East first as Hedin grounds out first baseman. Here's Alex Foos up, the right fielder. He's a right-handed batter hitting .351. McSherry, the right-hander's pitch. Fastball strike on the inside corner. Riley on the season comes in with some strong starts here in his last few outings. And the pitch on the way is swung on, lined out into center field. Sumption is right there for the catch, and there are 2 down. Foos lines out to center. And that'll bring up Mitchell Tolk, the third baseman. 2 up and 2 down here for East in the top of the first inning. McSherry, 9 wins, 1 loss on the season for post 22. His 17th appearance and his 13th start. Here's the pitch to Tolk, and it's a ball low and outside. 66 2/3 innings for McSherry, 69 hits, walked 23 and struck out 47. His ERA is 2.21. And the right-hander's pitch is a fastball down low, and it's 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes to count. 2 outs for Sioux Falls East here in the top of the first inning. The base is empty. Outfield playing Tolk straight away. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's swung on, hit to right field. Solano is there under it. He has it for the 3rd out. So a 1-2-3 top of the first inning for Riley McSherry. And Sioux Falls East is down quickly in the top half of the first inning. We head to the bottom of the first, and Walker Paz will lead off for Post 22. From the Anytime Auto Sales press box, we're on ESPN Radio Rapid City, also on Hardhats-TV with our director, Destin Heumann. Just to recap those scores again, earlier today, Brandon Valley won the first game of the tournament. They beat Aberdeen by a score of 9-5. And in that game, Trey Hubers had a couple of hits and 2 RBIs for Brandon Valley. Peyton Livingston had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. And Isaiah Chevalier had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. So it was a 9-5 win for Brandon Valley over Aberdeen. Pierre beat Sioux Falls West by a score of 8-6. That was the first evening game tonight, as Pierre had a big first inning. They scored 6 times in the first inning, and that's what provided the victory for them. In a 6-run first inning, they went on to win over Sioux Falls West 8-6. And in a very good game, it was Renner defeating Mitchell 5-2. And in that game, Renner's starting pitcher, Briggs Havlick, or the starting pitcher for Mitchell was Havlick, and he went over the 75 pitch count, so he's out of the tournament and also took the loss. And Spencer Colwyn picked up the win for Sioux Falls East, working 7 innings and striking out 13. Walked only 2, gave up 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, but he also is out of the tournament. He went over that 75 pitch mark the first day of the tournament, but I guess if you win the game, that's the saving grace. If you lose that first game and lose your number 1 or your first pitcher in the tournament and pitch over 75, he's out for the rest of the tournament, as he must rest 4 days. Walker Paz hitting .384 here against Graham, and the first pitch is a ball, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Matthew Graham on the mound for Sioux Falls East was the starter and the loser in that 9-7 win against Post 22 earlier in the season. And the pitch is a strike at the knees, and it's 1-1. Walker at .384 leads the team with 19 doubles on the year. He has 3 triples, 3 home runs, 38 RBIs, and he looks at a strike, and it's now 1-2. Outfield playing Walker straight away. And now Graham steps off the rummer. Graham on the season, 6 wins and 2 losses with 1 save, and an ERA coming into the game of 2.30. His pitch to Paz is down low and inside. So the count even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Graham in 54 2/3 innings pitched, 47 hits, only 17 walks, 51 strikeouts. Very good ratio of walks to innings pitched. Here's the right-hander's pitch. Swing and a miss. So Paz strikes out. 1 down in the Post 22 bottom half of the first inning. And that'll bring up Justin Kramer, the third baseman for Post 22, hitting .381 on the season. Justin with 11 doubles, 3 home runs, and 35 RBIs. Tolk, the third baseman, is in on the grass, and the first pitch is outside for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the windup by Graham and his pitch. Swung on, a drive to center. Going back a few steps is Melvin. The center fielder catches up with it for out number 2. So Kramer lines out to center. 2 quick outs in the Post 22 bottom half of the first inning. And that brings up Cooper Bowman, the shortstop. Well, congratulations go out to Cooper, who announced that he will be attending the University of Hawaii to play baseball after next season. Cooper's still with a year to go in high school, hitting .399 and looks at a strike on the outside corner. 13 doubles for Cooper, 5 triples, 7 home runs, 63 RBIs, and his .399 average leads the team. Here's the right-hander, Matthew Graham's pitch on the way. Swinging and a foul off the mid of Kemper, the catcher, and the count is 0-2. Mitch Messer in the third base coach's box. Nick Ewing over at first. Pitching coach Jason Hers in the dugout. No balls and 2 strikes on Bowman. Here is the pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled off to the right. So the count to Cooper runs along at 2 strikes. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on, a pop foul. That's coming back here. And out of play. I'm not going to try to be a hero tonight. That's as close as we've had all season. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch on the way. Swung on, lined out into right field, and it is in for a hit. The ball skips past Foos, and Bowman will end up at second base. That was a sinking line drive out into right field. And it'll be a double for Cooper, his 14th double of the season, so he stands at second base. Foos was kind of in no man's land out there. He probably should have just played it on the hop, went for the diving catch, and it results in a 2-base hit for Bowman. So Zach Solano, the team RBI leader, steps in. Zach hitting .372, leads the team in home runs with 8 and in RBIs with 64, one more than Bowman at second base. No score here in the last half of the first inning. Graham delivers. And a strike on the low outside corner. 1 strike on Solano. Outfield straightaway. Here's the set by Graham. The pitch on the way. Solano swings and lifts a foul down the right field line, out of play. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Zach Sumption is the on-deck hitter for post 22. Here's the set. The pitch on the way, low and outside. 1-2 on Solano. Bowman at second with a 2-out double here in the last half of the first. Graham into the set, delivers. Swung on, another foul down the right field line, out of play. And Zach hangs in with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Post 22 has won the last 4 South Dakota State American Legion Baseball Championships. They've won 41 in team history, 34 under Dave Plouffe, 4 in a row here under Mitch Messer, and 3 in a row, 61, 62, and 63 under Wes Storm. Graham sets, he delivers. Swing and a foul at the plate. Zach just got a piece of it. And the count runs along at 1 ball and 2 strikes. 41, of course, far and away the most of any team in South Dakota American Legion baseball history. The last team to win the title outside of Rapid City back in 2011 was Sioux Falls East. Post 22's opponent here. Here's the set by Graham, the pitch, outside and low. Post 22 won in 2009, 2010. And then I made a mistake there. Brookings won it in 2012, East in 2011. There were 2 years in a row there where Post 22 did not win the state title. Solano with a 2-2 count. The pitch on the way is swung on, a foul off to the right, out of play. No score here in the last half of the first inning. Final game of the day. The very first ever state champion, crowned in 1926, and Beersford won that first ever state championship. Alcester won it in 27. And as we said, Post 22's first ever, 1961. 2 balls and 2 strikes in Solano. It's been quite a battle here between Solano and Matthew Graham as Bowman leads from second. Here's the set. A pitch on the way, and it's too high. So Zach now has a full count, 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes. Graham ready, looks back again at Bowman at second. The pitch on the way, and it's low. Runner going to third, and safe at third base on the steal is Bowman. Solano drew the walk. So aggressive base running there for Bowman. That was a long at bat for Solano, and now Zach Sumption comes up with runners at first and third and 2 out. Sumption hitting .379, 3 home runs and 38 RBIs. Graham from the set. He delivers. Low and outside, the ball rolls away, and not far enough for Bowman to try to score from third, but far enough for Solano to be able to take second. So runners at second and third for Post 22. 1 ball count on Sumption. Matt Storrow, the head coach of Sioux Falls East, saying this week that Post 22 hitters like to work the counts deep. Make your pitcher throw a lot of pitches. There's a foul back by Sumption, and the count is 1-1. And after a couple of relatively quick outs with Paz and Kramer, Bowman and Solano worked the counts, and now Sumption has a count of 1-1. Post 22, 49 wins and 7 losses going into the game. The pitch on the way is a good breaking ball over for a strike. And it's 1-2 now on Sumption. One ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Took some speed off. It looked like a breaking ball. And gets his second strikeout of the inning. Graham works out of a 2-out jam. No runs for Post 22 on 1 hit. No Sioux Falls errors and 2 men left on base. So at the end of 1 inning here at Fitzgerald Stadium, it's Post 22, 0, and Sioux Falls East, 0. Tomorrow we'll have a couple of elimination games as Post 22 plays the final game here tonight against Sioux Falls East. Tomorrow, Mitchell will play the loser of this game in the second game tomorrow about 1 o'clock. First game tomorrow at 10 a.m., another elimination game with Aberdeen taking on Sioux Falls West. So 2 elimination games will be down to 6 teams by the end of tomorrow. Riley McSherry starts the second inning from the Anytime Auto Sales press box as he had a 1-2-3 first inning. Matt Hedin grounded out to first, and he got a couple of fly ball outs. And Riley starting the second inning. And Brandon Ford, the designated hitter for Sioux Falls East, will lead things off.
Sioux Falls East in the second, the designated hitter, number 20, Brandon Ford.
Here's Ford, the right-handed batter, hitting .301, stepping in. And McSherry's pitch. Check swing at a breaking ball, and it's outside for ball one. Ford has no homers, 22 RBIs in the year for East. East does not have a lot of power as far as home runs go. They hit only 3 home runs on the season in 55 games. Ground ball wide at first, fielded by Ferdinand. Runs to first base to retire Ford. One down in the Sioux Falls East second, and that'll bring up Elliott Barnes, the shortstop. Barnes hitting .312, 1 home run and 29 RBIs, a right-handed batter. McSherry's pitch swung out a big bouncer, hit to the right of second. On the second hop, Paz gloves it, throws to Ferdinand for the out. So Barnes retired second to first. 2 outs in the East second. And that brings up Austin Kubek, the first baseman. I'm sorry. There are 2 outs, yep. Here's Kubek up, and he takes a fastball in for a strike. McSherry has retired the first 5 men he has faced. Here's Riley's pitch on the way, and a fastball inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and sliced foul back to the netting. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kubek did have a couple of hits against Post 22 in that game in June, including 1 double. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. A pitch down, and Kubek strikes out. McSherry picks up his first strikeout, and Riley's retired the first 6 men he has faced. And we go to the bottom of the second, and it is no score, Post 22 and Sioux Falls East, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Why do so many business people trust us? Well, we're pretty nice folks, of course, and we really know our stuff. Black Hills Insurance, a tradition of service since 1949.
It just started playing more, didn't it?
Post 22 coming to bat here in the bottom of the second. No score. Jimmy Paris will lead off for Post 22. Hitting .298. And the first pitch is fouled back for strike 1. Paris with 4 homers and 51 RBIs. Timmy with 16 doubles on the year. The pitch on the way is a strike called. And it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch to Paris, he hits it foul down the right field line. Count runs along at no balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch swung on, lined out in the center field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Paris with a leadoff single to center, hit number 2 for post 22. And that brings up Luke Ferdinand, the first baseman. Ferdinand hitting .306, has 9 doubles and 21 RBIs on the year. Here's the set and the pitch. And it's a strike at the knees. 0-1 to Luke. Kubik holding with Paris at first base. Here's the set by Graham. Third baseman Tolk up on the edge of the grass at third. The pitch on the way is cut on and missed. And the count is 0-2 now on Ferdinand. Outfield playing Luke straight away, left-handed batter. Graham sets, ahead on the count, 2 strikes, and his pitch. Down and in for a ball, and it's 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. Paris leads from first. He has a leadoff single here in the bottom of the second, no score. Here's the pitch on the way. Check swing at a pitch in the dirt, and it gets away from the catcher. Was it a foul, or was it strike 3? It was a foul ball, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Matthew Graham, the Sioux Falls East right-hander out of the set, delivers. Foul back. Still 1-2 on Ferdinand, and the Hardhats are making Graham throw a lot of pitches here in these first couple of innings. And again, that rule, if you throw 75 pitches or more today, you will be out for the rest of the tournament. That requires 4 days rest. There's a fly ball into shallow center field. Melvin coming on. The second baseman goes out, and the ball drops between them. Ferdinand with a pop fly single to center. Paris going to second. Runners at first and second for Todd Stevens.
For left fielder, number 17, Todd Stevens.
Stevens hitting .375. 1 home run, 19 RBIs. Playing in left field, hitting 8th in the order. Sioux Falls expecting the bunt. Kubik is way in on the grass at first. Stevens bunts the ball back towards the mound. It'll be a good bunt as the pitcher Graham fields it and throws to second baseman Hedin covering at first. So Stevens gets the sacrifice down, moving Paris to third and Ferdinand to second. And Jack Sorensen, the designated hitter, coming up. Sorensen hitting .280. Has 4 doubles, 3 homers, 31 RBIs. And the pitch on the way, swung on and fouled off to the right. 1 strike. One out, post 22 trying to grab the lead here in the last half of the second. And the pitch is a strike called. 0-2 now on Sorensen. Jack, who had a couple of grand slams early in the season, has 3 total home runs on the year, 4 doubles. Infield is back at second and short as Graham delivers, and it's high for a ball, and it's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes on Sorensen. Here's the pitch. Swung on a pop-up Foul territory. First baseman Kubek in near his dugout in foul territory. Grabs it for the second out. Big out there for Graham. As Sorensen pops out. And it'll go to Walker Paz now in the top of the order for post 22 to try to take the lead here in the bottom of the second. No score. Walker struck out swinging in the first. Here's the pitch on the way. And a breaking ball in for a strike. Post 22 has 3 hits here so far in the game. No runs. Here's Graham's pitch on the way. And it's a ball a little bit high. In that start against Post 22 back in June, Graham worked 5 innings, allowed 11 hits and 9 runs, 8 of them earned. He walked 1, struck out 6. Gave up a couple of home runs in that game. Paz peels a foul back to the screen, and the count is 1-2. Paris leads from third, Ferdinand from second. 2 outs, 1-2 on Paz. And now time requested by Walker as Graham takes too much time. One ball and 2 strikes to count. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's outside. Evens the count off to 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Walker Paz with Justin Kramer on deck. It's always important to win that first game in a state tournament like this to get into that winner's bracket. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on. He bounces it foul off to the right. Going into the loser's bracket and trying to come back after the first day is an awfully tall task. Paz with a count of 2-2. No score here in the last half of the second. Post 22 with runners at second and third. The pitch swung on, hit the left field. Mueller is there, though, backs off a few steps to make the catch. So Paz lines out to left, and post 22 after a couple of singles to start the inning. Getting runners at second and third with 1 out, failed to score. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left on base. So at the end of 2, here from the Anytime Auto Sales press box, it's post 22-0 and Sioux Falls East 0 here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Great faces, great places. Wet paint? Yep. And around here, when great places need a little love, great faces band together. Each year, First Interstate Bank employees help local organizations put a fresh coat of paint on homes of those in need. A small gesture, perhaps, but one that puts smiles on faces and strengthens bonds in the places we serve. First Interstate Bank. It's you and I together. Great faces, great places. Wet paint? Yep. And around here, when great places need a little love, great faces band together. Each year, First Interstate Bank employees help local organizations put a fresh coat of paint on homes of those in need. A small gesture, perhaps, but one that puts smiles on faces and strengthens bonds in the places we serve. First Interstate Bank. It's you and I together.
So 1 out after Kramer making that great catch on the line drive to third off the bat at Kemper. Logan Mueller has a 1-strike count, and the pitch on the way is hit the center field. Backing off is Sumption. He's getting to it out there and makes the catch in medium deep center field. So Riley McSherry has retired the first 8 men he has faced as he gets Mueller on a drive to center field. Here's Siler Melvin, the center fielder, left-handed batter, number 9 hitter. Hitting .289 on the season, and here's the pitch from McSherry. Fastball strike on the low outside corner. Melvin has no home runs and 27 RBIs on the season. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Swung on, a bouncing ball hit to the right side. 2 hops out to Paz, throws to Ferdinand for the out. 1, 2, 3 in the third inning for Sioux Falls East. 9 in a row retired by Riley McSherry. And at the end of 2.5 innings of play, no score, post 22 and Sioux Falls East. And the pitch is a ball down low, and it's 1 ball, no strike. So Kramer has lined out to left, and Bowman has singled to right. No score, last half of the third inning. Here's the pitch. And it's down low for a ball. And it's 2-0 on Solano. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's a strike at the knees. 2-1 on Zach. And the pitch, swung on a ground ball to second. Hedin flips to short for 1. Barnes to first for a double play. Sharply hit by Solano, but right at the Sioux Falls East second baseman. A 4-6-3 double play. And post 22, no runs on a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. 3 scoreless innings here from Fitzgerald Stadium. Post 22 and Sioux Falls East. It's the first game for post 22 in the state tournament. And we'll be back here on Hardhats-TV in just a moment.
Camping World is here to help you connect to adventure and explore the outdoors with friends and family, offering new and pre-owned RVs to fit every budget and thousands of parts and accessories for any need. Camping World has it all. With over 125 supercenters nationwide, you're never far from America's #1 RV dealer. No matter where your adventures take you, whether you need an RV, parts, or service, Camping World is here to help you every step of the way. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
Top half of the 4th inning for Sioux Falls East. Matt Hedin, the second baseman, will lead off. He grounded out to first. His first at bat. Riley McSherry into the windup, delivers. And it's a ball high, and it's 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch. Strike on the low outside corner. Riley has retired the first 9 men he has faced. 1 strikeout. And the pitch on the way. Swing and a foul back. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 the count on Hedin. Here's the pitch on the way. Strike on the outside corner, and Hedin is caught looking. Second strikeout. And that'll bring up Alex Foos, the right fielder, who lined out to center his first at bat. And the pitch is a strike on Foos. No balls and a strike, right-handed batter. And McSherry's pitch on the way is a fastball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1 the count. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's a strike at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
We clicked on this one.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout of Foos, 2 in a row for McSherry.
Number 9, third baseman, Mitchell Toke.
Here's a swing and a miss by Mitchell Toke, the third baseman who lined out to right field his first at bat. And the pitch on the way is a fastball inside for a ball. One ball, one strike, the count. And McSherry's pitch. A little bit low. And the count goes to 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. No score here in the top half of the 4th inning. No score between Post 22 and Sioux Falls East, and the fastball from McSherry misses inside, and it's 3-1. Three balls, one strike. Sioux Falls East trying to get their first base runner tonight. McSherry's pitch, strike on the low outside corner, and it's a full count on Tolk. A .381 hitter for Sioux Falls East on the season. Here's the pitch on the way, and he missed outside. Not close. So Tolk becomes the first base runner for the East Ball Club here. A 2-out walk in the top of the 4th inning, and Brandon Ford comes up. Ford grounded out to first, his first at bat. Here's the set by McSherry and the pitch. And a breaking ball is in for a strike. Ferdinand holding with Tolk at first base. Here's the set by McSherry. The pitch is swung on, hit up in the air to center field. Coming in now, Assumption still coming in, getting to it in shallow center, and Zach has it for the 3rd out. Ford flies to center. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. And we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning now. And Post 22 and Sioux Falls East, no score. The scores from earlier today, it was Brandon Valley 9, Aberdeen 5, Pierre 8, Sioux Falls West 6, and Renner defeated Mitchell by a score of 5-2. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., an elimination game featuring Aberdeen and Sioux Falls West. And then at around 1 o'clock, it'll be Mitchell taking on the loser of this game between Post 22 and Sioux Falls East. The winner's bracket, the first evening game tomorrow at 4 o'clock, will have Brandon Valley taking on Pierre. And then Renner will play the winner of this game at around 7:30 or so tomorrow night here at Fitzgerald Stadium. Post 22's had some chances here, but haven't been able to score some runs. They've had 4 hits in the game so far, plus a walk, but have stranded 4. Sioux Falls turned a double play last inning. And it will be Zach Sumption to start things off for Rapid City here in the last half of the 4th inning. Zach struck out swinging his first at bat. So Matthew Graham, pitching a Matthew Graham type game when he's on, this is exactly how he pitches. He'll give up some hits, but good control, very few walks. The right-hander delivers to Sumption, who lines it out in the center, and that's in for a base hit. So Zach goes after the first pitch and collects the 5th hit of the game for Post 22. And that will bring up Timmy Paris, the catcher. No score. The last half of the 4th inning. Timmy singled to center to lead off the 2nd. Tolk, the 3rd baseman, is up to the edge of the grass at 3rd, thinking Paris might be bunting. Here's Graham from the set. He delivers. Swung out a foul off to the right. 1 strike. Luke Ferdinand is on deck for Post 22. Off the bag at first is Sumption. Here's the set. And a throw to first base. And Sumption is back. Post 22 had runners at first and second with 2 outs in the first, then had runners at second and third and 1 out in the second. Failing to score both times. 1 strike on Paris. Graham from the set. He delivers. Swinging a foul hit down the right field line. And the count is 0-2. Two strikes on Paris. Outfield is straight away. A couple of steps deeper than normal on Timmy. Here's the set by Graham, the pitch. Fastball missed outside at the belt, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball and 2 strikes, the count. Here's the set. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Runner going, and the throw is sailing into center field. Around second and on his way to third is Sumption. The throw there is not in time. Paris strikes out swinging, but Sumption steals second and advances to third on the throwing error. So post 22 has a runner at third base now with 1 out. And Luke Ferdinand coming up. Sioux Falls East is going to bring the infield in all the way around. Here's the pitch. Check swing, and he went too far, and it's strike 1. 1 strike on Sumption. Or rather on Ferdinand, with Sumption at third base. Here's the pitch. High and outside. 1-1 on Luke. Wind up by Matthew Graham, the pitch. Swung out a pop-up off to the left. It's going to be back and out of play. Behind the Rapid City third base dugout, and the count is 1-2 on Ferdinand. Well, post 22 is in need of an RBI hit here from somebody to give them the lead. It's no score. Last half of the 4th inning. Matt Graham. Time is called now as he takes too much time again, and Ferdinand asks for time. Now Graham into his windup. He delivers. Swung on a line drive to center. Here comes the center fielder Melvin to make the catch. And holding at third base is Sumption. Zach got caught off the bag. And it took too much time for him to get back to third base and re-tag. That's a play where you like to have your base runner stand on third base. So there are 2 outs. Sumption at third, and the batter is Todd Stevens, the left fielder. He had a sacrifice bunt his first at bat. So 2 outs for post 22 and a runner at third base. Here's the pitch, and it's high and outside for ball 1. Post 22 came into the game averaging 9.7 runs per game, and nothing so far tonight. Sumption off of third with 2 out. The pitch, a strike over the inside corner to Todd Stevens. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch on the way. Low for a ball. 2-1 on Stevens. Post 22 hosted the state tournament here in 2013. There's a foul back by Stevens. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and two with 2 outs. Sumption at third. Matt Graham into his windup. Here's the pitch. Swung out, a pop foul, back and out of play. Todd Stevens fighting some pitches off here. And the count runs along at 2 and 2. Play Todd straight away in the outfield. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch on the way. Low and outside. A good stop by Kemper, the catcher. And it's a full count. Jack Sorensen is on deck. Three balls and 2 strikes. The windup by Graham. The pitch on the way is swung on and fouled down and back. Stevens getting a piece of that pitch. Remains alive with a count of 3 and 2. 5 hits in the game for post 22 and 3 2/3 innings off of Graham. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's a breaking ball in there. Strike 3 called, and Stevens is caught looking. No runs, 1 hit for post 22, and they strand 1 more, and they've stranded 5 in the game. So at the end of 4, here from Fitzgerald Stadium, no score. Sioux Falls East 0, Rapid City Post 22 0. Here on ESPN Radio Rapid City and the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box.
Satisfy your cravings anytime, day or night at Augie's Sports Bar, serving juicy certified Angus beef burgers 24 hours a day. You can always find a game with card tables open 24 hours and high-limit wagers up to $1,000. Choose from hundreds of the most popular slot games available, with new games arriving every month. We're always ready for fun and excitement at the Lodge at Deadwood, the locals' choice for 24-hour dining and gaming.
Well, we head to the top of the 5th inning here, and post 22 and Sioux Falls in a pitcher's duel, although Riley McSherry is not allowed a hit over 5 innings and through 4 innings, and through 4 innings, Matthew Graham has given up 5 hits but no runs, and we'll go to the 5th inning now with Elliot Barnes up, the shortstop for Sioux Falls East. Barnes grounded out to second in the 2nd inning. The shortstop for East. 5, 6, and 7 hitters here for East against Riley McSherry, who's thrown just 40 pitches through his first 4 innings. Here's the motion by McSherry and the pitch on the way. Outside a ball. The pitcher for Sioux Falls, Matt Graham, has thrown 69 pitches through 4 innings. So they're going to have an interesting decision to make. There's a fly ball to right field. In comes Solano towards the foul line and makes the catch for the out. 1 down. And that'll bring up Austin Kubik, the first baseman. He struck out swinging his first at bat. One out. Here's the pitch on the way, and a fastball outside, ball 1. Riley's been on top of his game, by far and away the sharpest he's looked all season. Has kept his pitch count down, as we alluded to, and only base runner, Tolk, with a 2-out walk last inning. There's a ground ball to short, fielded by Bowman, moving towards second. Throw to first base for the out. 2 up and 2 down here in the 5th inning for Sioux Falls East. And it brings up Nick Kemper, the catcher. He had a low line drive, which Kramer speared in the 3rd inning. Left-handed batter, 2 outs. Here's the motion by McSherry and his pitch. Strike on the outside corner, knee high. 1 strike on Kemper. There's a little looper out towards second baseman Paz, who goes back and grabs it on the outfield grass in shallow right center. McSherry, 5 scoreless, hitless innings as we go to the bottom of the 5th here from Fitzgerald Stadium at Sioux Falls East, nothing. Post 22, nothing. You're listening to Post 22 Baseball from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
When you're done with fads, when you're done with gimmicks and tricks and miracle cures, crash courses and rebound weight, when you're done with going it alone, when you're done with diets, there's Profile. Backed by one of the nation's largest health systems, Profile by Sanford is a personalized plan designed to improve the way you eat and live. When you're ready to get real results with Profile.
Bottom of the 5th inning, the old partner Mark Benetti has arrived. Your limousine was held up in traffic, I understand.
Yeah, my limo was held up in traffic, and then they had to stop and restock somewhere on everything, all the amenities in the back of the limo, so then that took a while, and good to be here. Good to see I haven't missed much, although I have missed quite the pitching performance by Riley McSherry, a 6-pitch inning in that frame when I got in, and obviously it seems that the problem for the Hardhats tonight with 5 hits has been they've left runners in scoring position. So now it's a battle of execution and a battle of wills between both teams. So let's see who decides to show up in the second half of this ball game and get the job done.
Jack Sorensen will lead off for post 22. Jack fouled out to first with a couple of men on in the 2nd inning. And Graham's pitch is a strike. So that's his 70th pitch of the game again now. If you go 75 innings in this performance tonight, you're not going to be able to pitch for the rest of the tournament. We've had 2 pitchers who have done that already today, including the ace for Renner. Pitches inside over the knees for a ball. It's 1-1.
Well, you and I have been talking about this ad nauseum leading up to the tournament. That's going to play a huge factor in strategizing for this state title.
1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch on the way is a foul back. And it's 1-2.
Well, right now, Graham's at 72 pitches. So if I'm Jack Sorensen, I am battling off and fouling off every single pitch that is remotely close to that strike zone. Because if that's the case, you run up Graham's pitch count. Whether they pull him prior to that, well, it's up to the Sioux Falls East coaching staff.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Sorensen hits a bouncing ball past the mound up near second. Going over and off the glove of the second baseman, Hedin. The ball trickles into shallow center field, and Sorensen is on. An old friend of ours is doing the PA here for the tournament, Tyler Merriam from South Dakota State, and also scoring the tournament, and he has charged an error on the second baseman, Hedin. That's the break Rapid City might be looking for here. Although they've had chances. Here's Paz. Let's see if Walker's bunny. Tolk thinks he is from third. The ball is pushed foul back to the screen for strike 1. It's the first error of the game. No score, bottom half of the 5th inning. Started at 7:34 this evening, so we're an hour and 3 minutes old and into the bottom of the 5th already. Pitch is taken down and in for a ball. He was attempting to bunt. He bluffed a bunt, but didn't offer at the pitch. 1-1 on Walker, who has struck out and lined out to left.
By the way, that was the 75th pitch for Graham. Just a heads up for everybody counting at home.
So this one is the one that does him in, though, number 76. Here's his pitch. Inside, off the mid of the catcher, and down to second base goes Sorensen. So a runner at second now for the Hardhats. And Paz up with a count of 2-1. Game like this always scares you a little bit because you have so many chances to score early in the game and you don't get it done. It always seems to come back and bite you. Here's the pitch. Walker takes a changeup outside, and it's 3-1. Three balls and one strike. Here's the set by Graham. The pitch on the way. Breaking ball inside for ball 4. Graham issues his second walk. And now we have a bunt situation with perhaps the team's best bunter, Justin Kramer, who is lined out to center and lined out to left. Conference on the mound between catcher Kemper and pitcher Graham. Mark, I don't know if you remember this, but Graham was the starting pitcher against Post 22 back in June when the Hardhats won 9-7. And he's pitched a very strong game here for Sioux Falls. In a bit of trouble, though, here in the bottom of the 5th in this scoreless game. Kramer up with runners at first and second. Kubik in the grass at first. Tolk even with the bag at third. Here's the set by Graham. The pitch to Kramer. He's around the bunt and takes it just off the low outside corner for ball 1.
First base is in to try and defend this bunt, so if you're Justin, you have to hit it down that third base side.
Here's the set by Graham, the pitch. Kramer bunts it towards third. This could be a base hit. It's going to be a base hit. A bunt single for Kramer. And the bases are loaded with nobody out. Hit number 6 for Post 22.
Tom, you couldn't have scripted that any better. And right to a T. You have first base coming in to charge so that the third baseman can hold the bag if the bunt is fielded up that way, get the force in the lead runner. Instead, Justin, right to a T, bunts it up the third base line, and that ball died. Base hit the whole way, and now base is loaded for Cooper Bowman.
Cooper has doubled to right, singled to right. He's 2 for 2. And takes a strike on the outside corner. And Mark, in case you didn't hear, you probably did, Cooper is going to attend the University of Hawaii. He is signed with the Rainbows.
Wow, the Rainbow Warriors. How about that?
One strike on Cooper. Here's the pitch on the way. He swings and lines it into right center field for a base hit. Sorensen scores. Paz is going to score. Cooper's going to second base. Slides in head first with a 2-run double. Sorensen and Paz both scoring. Rapid City takes a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Kramer to third and Bowman with his 14th double. 64th and 65th RBIs give him now the team lead. And you think of what's this transpired in this inning, how huge this is with Graham. He's past the 75 pitches. He'll be unable to pitch the rest of the tournament. Now you've got to get as much out of him as you can without taking another arm.
Oh, you absolutely do at this point. If you're Sioux Falls East, if that ends up being the ball game right there on that one hit and those 2 runs, you're in survival mode. So you have to stock up for the rest of the tournament. This is where the chess match that you and I have been talking about the weeks leading up to this becomes so critical. You have to essentially exhaust Matt Graham, because if this game goes on even further, you're still in this tournament because it's double elimination. You can't afford to use another arm because what was the calculation we did? If it's one pitch between 1 and 45, you've got to take a day off. So either way, you can't tap in your bullpen because you need them the rest of the way.
If you throw less than 30, you can come back the next day.
Oh, okay, there we go.
But then you can't come back the third day. You can't pitch 3 consecutive days. Pitch is low and outside to Solano, who has walked in the first inning. And Zach hit into a 4-6-3 double play in the third inning. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. A 2-0 post-22 lead. Here's the windup by Graham. The pitch swung on and a foul down the right field line out of play. 1-1 on Solano. Sioux Falls is keeping the infield back. Infield at first and third, up to the edge of the grass. Short and second, deep. Outfield straight away. The 1-1 pitch to Solano. Swung on a big chopper to third. Tolk has it. He fires to first for the out. No chance for Kramer to come down and score from third base. So the third baseman was in on the edge of the grass, perfectly positioned for that chopper. Retiring Zach Solano. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. 2-0 post-22 leading. Here's Zach Sumption. Sumption is struck out in the 1st inning, single to center in the 4th inning. Here's the motion by Graham and his pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on a pop-up off of first base. It's a foul ball. Kubek by his dugout, and the ball lands in the Sioux Falls first base dugout, out of the reach of the East first baseman, and the count is 2 strikes on Sumption. Kramer at third and Bowman at second. Cooper signs, and you think he's a little relaxed? He seems to be at the plate. 3 good at-bats, 2 doubles and a single and 2 RBIs. Now it's a 2-strike count on Sumption. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on a hard ground ball, and it hits the runner in foul territory, Kramer, and it's just a foul ball. Had somehow Justin been standing in fair territory, that would have been an out.
Big break for the Hardhats here, because as I'm looking at the scoreboard, Tom, only having been here for not even 20 minutes, runs have been insanely hard to come by, so you can't lose a runner on third like that. You need every runner in scoring position possible, so that's a little serendipitous there for the Hardhats that Kramer was in foul territory and not fair.
2 strikes to count on Zach. Here's the pitch on the way. And it's low and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Graham's about to throw his 90th pitch, so I don't know normally what his limits are, how far he's going to go in this game, but like you and I were saying, they're going to have to exhaust him because he's going to have to watch from the dugout the rest of this tournament, so we could see him throw over 100 in this.
Well, its limit, absolute limit's 120, unless you're in the middle of a hitter. Pitch on the way is swung on and missed. A pitch away from Zach, and he strikes him out. 2 down, and that brings up Timmy Paris. 5 strikeouts for Graham in the game. Brings up Paris, who was singled to center and struck out swinging in the 4th inning. So Timmy's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch on the way. And a breaking ball strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. A pitch up and away, and it's 0-2.
Wasn't the best cut in the world from Timmy there. He's just trying to force something, trying to make something happen. Pitch is high and away from him, and I know he wants to add to this lead. 2 runners in scoring position. You don't know when it could happen again, but this is where patience is absolutely critical if you're Timmy right now in the batter's box.
2 strikes to count. The pitch on the way. Swung on, hit back to the mound. Graham grabs it, flips it to first for the out. So Paris is out, pitcher to first. But post 22 is able to score a couple of runs in the 5th inning. 2 hits. There was 1 Sioux Falls error, and post 22 strands 2 more men on base, and they have now stranded a total of 7 through 5 innings. At the end of 5, it's the Hardhats 2, Sioux Falls East nothing from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box. You're listening to Post 22 Baseball on ESPN Radio.
If you're looking for a modular home of the highest quality, you want a Lichty home. Check out our impressive selection of Lichty homes at lichtyhomes.com. This is usually the part where our web address is displayed out on screen so you can spell it. But this is radio, so okay. It's LIECHTY homes.com. And now we're out of time. Great homes, great selection, tours too. Lichty Homes.
End of 5 innings of play. The Hardhats have 2 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. And as we said, they've stranded 7. Sioux Falls with no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 man left on base. Riley McSherry has a 2-run lead as we go to the top of the 6th inning. It will be Logan Mueller, the left fielder, leading off for East. Post 22 will play Renner if they win tonight in the final evening game tomorrow at 7:30 or so. If they lose this game, they'll play tomorrow against Mitchell at around 1 o'clock. Mueller lined out to Sumption in center, his first at bat. So Riley McSherry holding a 2-0 lead. Here's his pitch on the way. And it's a ball inside. So Riley's pitch count going into this inning is...
That was just number 47.
So he's got a little room to work with here. I'm sure Mitch would like to get 6 innings out of him, maybe 7. Keep him under 75. There's a foul back to the screen. The other interesting thing is if he could keep it below 60 through this inning, he could come back with 2 days. But I think the plan is you want to make sure he's back on Sunday. So if they can keep him under the 75 pitch count, get 6-7 innings out of him, that's what Mitch is looking for. 1 ball, 1 strike on Mueller, the number 8 hitter for Sioux Falls, who swings and misses at a fastball. And it's 1-2. Riley has struck out 3 in the game. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 4th strikeout for McSherry, and it brings up Siler Melvin, the left-handed batting center fielder, number 9 hitter. Melvin grounded out to second his first at bat. Siler Melvin, the left-handed batting second baseman. Mueller has just struck out. McSherry's pitch on the way, and it's outside for a ball. Kramer is in just on the edge of the grass at third. McSherry's pitch, strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Riley so far has been outstanding with his location. Good command of his pitches. Throws a fastball outside there, a little bit high, and it's 2-1.
This is what a dialed-in Riley McSherry looks like. This is playoff baseball, and he is just soaking in every moment of it.
2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch on the way, and he misses outside, so it's 3-1. So Riley walked Tolk in the 4th inning with 2 outs. That's been the only base runner for Sioux Falls, and now he's behind 3-1 on Melvin. The pitch on the way, and he misses low and inside. Ball 4, and Riley walks the number 9 hitter, Siler Melvin. Second walk given up by McSherry. We go to the top of the batting order for Sioux Falls East, and Matt Hedin coming up, the second baseman. Hedin is grounded out to first. Been called out on strikes. McSherry from the set. He delivers. Breaking ball over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Hedin, a .371 hitter on the season for Sioux Falls. Here's the set by McSherry. The pitch on the way, swung on, hit the left field. Sumption coming in, can't get it. The ball skips past him, recovered by center fielder Sumption. That was Stevens trying to catch it in left field. And Sumption was able to back it up and field the ball. And there's the first hit of the game for East. Kind of a sinking line drive by Hedin. And now East has runners at first and second with one out.
Well, Riley can still end this inning in one pitch. All he needs right now is a double play to get out of it. He's at 57 pitches right now, so he is still way under the 76 that would put you out of the tournament. If he got that one pitch out right now, that would be absolutely clutch for him right at this moment.
Alex Foos up the right fielder. He has lined out to center and struck out, swinging. Here's the set by McSherry with 2 on and 1 out. The pitch on the way. It is a strike on the low outside corner. Sioux Falls 31-24 on the season. However, they won only 5 of 12 games towards the end of the season. They were 5-7 in their last 12, so they may not have been playing their best baseball towards the end, but they got into the tournament. Swing and a miss, a late swing at a fastball. And it's 0-2 on Foos.
And they needed that playing game, too, over Brookings post 74. So good on them to right the ship towards the end, earn their way into this tournament.
They had a couple of winning streaks, which really helped their record during the season. They won 7 games in a row one time, won 6 another time. There's a high pop-up off first base, but it's going to drift out of play. And the count's still 0-2. And they never lost more than 3 games in a row on the season, but they did have a 3-game losing streak 4 different times. So they had a few mini losing streaks. Overall, 31-24 on the season. They trail here as Post 22 leads 2-0, top of the 6th inning. But East has runners at first and second, 1 out. A 2-strike count on Alex Foos, the right fielder. And McSherry steps off the rubber.
By the way, the last pitch Riley threw is number 60, so he still has 15 to play with before Coach Messer will most likely yank him from the game to save him for Sunday.
Here's the set by McSherry. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a high fastball. Riley kind of reared back and put a little extra mustard on that pitch and fans Foos for the second out here in the 6th inning for Sioux Falls. And Mitchell Tolk up to third baseman. Tolk has lined out to right and then walked in the 4th inning. McSherry retired the first 11 men in the game. Here's the pitch. Swung on a bouncing ball to Cooper Bowman. He flips the pause at second, and they force out Melvin, and that retires the side. So McSherry works around a couple of base runners here in the top of the 6th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. Sioux Falls has stranded 3. We head to the bottom half of the 6th inning, and Post 22 has a 2-0 lead over Sioux Falls East from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
With more than 300 pediatric experts in 35 specialty areas, Sanford Children's offers the care that matters to your family. At the Castle of Care, we are committed to bringing in the latest and most advanced technology and services to care for your children. And having the largest team of specialists in the region means your child can receive expert, individualized care close to home. At Sanford Children's, we promise to put your family first. To learn more, visit childrens.sanfordhealth.org.
Bottom of the 6th inning now, and it is a 2-0 post-22 lead. Riley McSherry, you can't say enough about Riley's performance so far, and now with his pitch count at
62.
Be interesting what decision Mitch Messer makes. It's only a 2-0 lead. It's not like you've got this game in the bank by any means. So, and McSherry's throwing a one-hitter through 6 innings. 62 pitches. He could get another inning out of him and keep him below 75 if he can throw strikes and get some early outs. Luke Ferdinand up, leading off the bottom of the 6th. Luke has singled to center and lined out to center. 1 for 2, and takes a pitch high and outside from Graham for ball 1. All is quiet down in the Sioux Falls bullpen. Pitch on the way. Another breaking ball hangs outside. It's 2-0 on Ferdinand. Post-22 getting both of their runs in the bottom of the 5th on a 2-run double by Cooper Bowman. Here's the pitch. That's a strike at the knees, and it's 2-1. And Graham's 2-1 pitch. Popped up, back of the plate. It's going to be out of play. And the count is 2-2. Mark, you missed the foul ball that would have won the award for closest to the press box.
Really?
Early in the game.
Would I have had a chance to dive out the window and grab it?
No.
Okay.
It landed right above our heads on the roof. 2-2 the count on Ferdinand.
So if I had gone out the back door of the press box, it could have bounced to me off the roof.
Conceivably.
Okay. As long as the laws of physics work like that.
2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch on the way is hit the center field. Melvin is backing off. He's there and makes the catch. So Ferdinand lines out to center. 1 down in the bottom of the 6th. And that brings up Todd Stevens, the left fielder. Todd has a sacrifice bunt, and he's been called out on strikes. Graham's pitch. Another fly ball to center. Melvin coming in. Shallow center field, and there's out number 2. 2 down in the post-22, bottom half of the 6th. They lead Sioux Falls East 2-0. And it brings up Jack Sorensen, the designated hitter, number 9 hitter. Jack has fouled out to first, reached on an error, and scored in the 5th inning. The other Sioux Falls team, Sioux Falls West, lost today to Pierre 8-6. Pitch low and outside to Sorensen as Pierce scored 6 runs in the 1st inning. It was Brandon Valley 9, Aberdeen 5, and Renner defeated Mitchell 5-2. Pitch low and outside, and the count to Sorensen, 2 balls and no strikes. It's great to be on the field before the game with our ceremonies. Patty Plouffe on the field throwing out the ceremonial first pitch, among other duties she had tonight. Swinging a foul back. State American Legion presenting a memorial award to Patty in Dave's honor. The unveiling of the number 34 jersey on the outfield fence in left field. And then the proclamation by Governor Dugard today of Dave Plouffe Day. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a foul down the right field line out of play, and it's still 2-2.
I really did miss a lot, didn't I, tonight?
It was a nice evening. It very, very much was. I was a hit in our dugout, though, before the game. There's a soft liner on a couple of hops out to second. Hedin fields it and throws to first for the out to retire the side. 1-2-3, nothing across, and at the end of 6, 2-0. Post 22 still leading Sioux Falls East, and you're listening to Post 22 Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
You don't have to try to hit a home run when you're hitting singles and doubles all day. Consistency wins games, and it's key to helping achieve your retirement goals. At Weitzel Financial Group, they believe they're there to help with your own ideals and goals. Head toward your field of dreams. Call Weitzel Financial Group for a consultation at 348-1152. Kurt Weitzel is a registered representative and investment advisor representative with and offers securities and advisory services through Commonwealth Financial Network member FINRAS IPC, a registered investment advisor. Weitzel Financial Group, 817 9th Street, Rapid City, South Dakota, 57701.
On Hardhats.
Riley McSherry will start the top of the 7th inning with 62 pitches. There is activity down in the bullpen for Post 22. Brandon Ford, the DH, the cleanup hitter, leads off for Sioux Falls East. And McSherry's first pitch is a ball inside. Ford is grounded out to first and flied to center. Here's McSherry's pitch. Swung on a little tapper to the right of the mound. Riley catches up with it, throws to Ferdinand for the out. Pitcher to first to get Ford, 1 down in the Sioux Falls 7th. It brings up Elliott Barnes, the shortstop. Barnes is grounded out to second and fly to right. Right-handed batter. Wait a second, is that Tommy Moore? No, that's Riley. I thought I was seeing things. There's a strike on the outside corner. I think Tommy Moore, though, is warming up down in the bullpen. If I remember Mitch Messer's plans tonight. Of course, you can always change those plans. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung out, a drive to right center field. Over goes Solano. He's there. He has it for out number 2. That ball didn't carry at all after it left the bat of Barnes. 2 down in the East, top of the 7th, and it brings up Austin Kubik, the first baseman.
Well, meteorology is trying to play a factor in this ball game here, Tom, because the wind is just blowing hard from right field to left field. You look at Old Glory, it's fanning all the way to our left. So, yeah, that's what's happening there. That's exactly why that ball died.
And a fastball catches the outside corner for a strike. And the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Now time is called, asked by Kubik. No balls, 2 strikes, and McSherry's quick pitch is down low for a ball. He'll throw that pitch every now and he has that little jerk in his motion. shortens his delivery. 1-2 now on Kubek. 2 outs, nobody on. 2-0 Rapid City here in the top of the 7th. The pitch on the way is line foul down the right field line.
Riley better hope that this out comes fast. He's at 70 pitches right now, so he's running out of time.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the way. Low for a ball, and it's 2-2. 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. McSherry looking in for the sign. Here's his windup and the 2-2 pitch. A ground ball to Ferdinand. He gets down to field it. Runs to first to retire the side. Oh, what a great pitching performance from Riley McSherry. No runs, no hits, no errors for Sioux Falls East. Nobody left on base. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. And Post 22 is leading 2-0 over Sioux Falls East on ESPN Radio Rapid City.
Trusted Choice Insurance agents are independent agents.
I pledge to be your guide, not only to insurance, but to insurance companies.
They don't actually work for any one insurance company.
And to use my independence to identify the coverage that's best for you.
This means they can customize policies from several companies in ways that other agents just can't. And they commit to that.
And I pledge.
In writing. Trusted Choice. You need an independent insurance agent.
Black Hills Insurance Agency, a tradition of service since 1940.
Well, if Post 22 wins this game tonight, what a great effort from Riley McSherry. As he will throw 7 innings, allow 1 hit, walk 2, and he struck out 5. And we are speculating that that will be the end of his performance tonight, simply because if he pitches any more, he won't be able to pitch again in the tournament with these tremendous Legion rules they've instituted this year. And with a 2-0 lead, you have a little bit of a leeway, but again, it's not a huge lead by any means. Well, leading off is Walker Paz. Certainly, Graham, too, has got a pitch count to worry about. What did you say he was at?
104.
So 2-0, Post 22, bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch on the way to Walker Paz, and it's high from Graham for ball 1. Walker is struck out, line to left, walked and scored in the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Swung out, a foul off to the left and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Pitch on the way, and Walker hits a looping pop-up to second base. Back on the grass is Hedin to grab it. Paz pops out to Hedin, 1 down. That'll bring up Justin Kramer.
Number 14, third baseman, Justin Kramer.
Post 22, third baseman. 1 for 3 tonight. He had a beautiful bunt single in the 5th inning, which set up the big double by Bowman. Takes a pitch high for ball 1. Kramer has lined out to center, lined out to left, and then that bunt single to third. That loaded the bases at the time with nobody out. Pitch is low and outside a ball. It's 2-0 on Kramer. Post 22, the Hardhats 2, Sioux Falls East 0 here in the bottom of the 7th. There's a pop-up off first base. I don't know if it's high enough for anybody to get to, and it isn't. Lands out of the reach of first baseman Kubik. And the count is 2-1 now on Kramer.
That's the second foul ball to land in that dugout. I'd watch out if I'm Sioux Falls East.
You better have your hard hat on.
I see what you did there. Well played. Luckily, we're prepared for that.
I forgot to bring my glove tonight, though. I will not forget it tomorrow. It could have come into play tonight. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Another little flare out to second base, caught by Hedin. And there are two down here in the post-22 seventh. And Cooper Bowman coming up.
111 pitches right now for Matt Graham, and I believe you said his absolute limit tonight is 120, so we will eventually see a new Sioux Falls pitcher if he stays on this course of just a boatload of pitches.
And they do let him stay in the game if he's in the midst of a batter and they hit 120. Cooper, 3 for 3, had the big 2-run double in the 5th inning and takes a pitch outside. He has a double to right in the first, a single to right in the third, and a double to right center that drove in those 2 runs in the 5th inning. Great to see Cooper with a multi-hit game. There's a drive to right center field. Will he have his 4th hit? Yes, he will. It's going to be fielded short of the warning track by Foos, but Cooper Bowman has his 3rd double of the game. Three doubles, a single, and 2 RBIs for Bowman. And he's in early contention, only the first game of the tournament, though, for the Big Stick Award, going 4 for 4. Here's Zach Solano. Zach is 0 for 2 with a walk. That walk back in the first inning, hit into a second to short the first double play in the third. Grounded out to third in the 5th inning. So he's up with 2 outs. Bowman at second. And that's a big run. To me, psychologically, a 3-0 lead against a 2-0 lead is huge, and they're going to give Zach an intentional walk. Very interesting, because that would have counted against his pitch count in the old days if he would have had to have thrown 4. So he's got to be getting close, what, to 120? He's at
113.
Okay. So Zach Sumption comes up after the intentional walk to Solano. Zach has struck out swinging, singled to center, and struck out swinging in the 5th. 1 for 3. Takes a fastball inside. I think this might be an inning that if post 22 can get that 3rd run across, would really put them in great shape. Here's the set by Graham. His pitch, swung on a pop-up. On the infield, the shortstop Barnes runs in and catches it on the edge of the grass. No runs on a hit for post 22. They leave 2 men on. Post 22 is now stranded 9 through 7 innings. So we head to the 8th inning. Hardhats 2 and Sioux Falls East nothing. A new pitcher coming in for Rapid City. And when we return to post 22 baseball on ESPN Radio Rapid City.
Coke Zero goes with things like this. This. And this. Coke Zero tastes like this.
He shoots! He scores!
It sounds like this. It feels like this. So when the game is on, try it with this. Coke Zero. Real Coca-Cola taste. 0 calories, 0 sugar.
Well, Mark, we go to the 8th inning, and here we do have Tommy Wall coming into the game for post 22 as Tommy replaces Riley McSherry, who threw 72 pitches in his 7 innings of work. Just an outstanding performance by Riley. Gave up 1 hit, walked 2 in the game. He recorded 5 strikeouts, and now Tommy Wall comes on in relief for post 22 to try to save this game for McSherry. Tommy on the season has 3 wins, 2 losses, and 1 save. His 19th appearance and his 14th relief appearance. 42 2/3 innings, 39 hits, 19 walks, 48 strikeouts.
And a 2.13 ERA to boot.
Riley McSherry's going to stay in the game and go to center field. That'll move Zach Sumption to left field. So Riley stays in the game, goes to center field. The DH is out. McSherry will bat in the number 9 spot where Sorensen was. And we head to the 8th inning. Nick Kemper, the catcher, up. Tommy Wall delivers. And he just missed at the outside corner. Strike one. Kemper, the number 7 hitter, is lined to third, popped to second. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. When you think of the old rules, this was a no-brainer. Riley would still be out there, and everything would be all dandy, but Tommy Wall delivers, swing and a miss. Tommy's done a real good job out of the bullpen. He's got a good arm. He's ahead 1-2 now on Kemper. Leading off here in the top of the 8th. The pitch on the way is hit on the ground to short. Bowman fields it cleanly, throws it to Ferdinand for the out. One down. Wall retires Kemper. Here's Logan Mueller up, the left fielder.
Well, it's like I've said all season long. Tommy Wall, he loves the big stage. He embraces it. He doesn't let anything faze him. Doesn't matter how many base runners are around him. He's going to go out there and he's going to get the job done. And that is very, very hard to coach.
Mueller is lined out to center and struck out swinging. He's 0 for 2. Right-handed batter swings and hits one out into left field. Sumption to his left is there. He has it for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down as Mueller lines out to left, and that'll bring up Siler Melvin, the center fielder. Tommy Wall's gotten the first 2 men here in the 8th inning. If this game ends this way, it couldn't have been scripted any better for Mitch Messer.
Absolutely. Seriously, you avoided every major hurdle you were thinking of.
Here's a bunt, and it's foul off to the left of home plate by Melvin for strike 1.
I 100% agree with that, Tommy, because look at Tommy right now. He's got 2 outs, 6 pitches, and he's already ahead 0-1 against his third batter faced in relief. Riley, 72 pitches in 7 high-quality innings. You've got a 2-0 lead. You know, look, we're not done yet by any stretch of the imagination, but this is working out to a T for number 24 in the Hardhats dugout.
Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball up and away. And from my humble opinion, as I've thought about this rule more and more over the last week, over the last couple weeks that we've been talking about it, here's the pitch on the way. Swung on, a fly ball to left. Sumption coming in. He's there. He has it for the third out. 1, 2, 3 for Tommy Wall. My point was, the more I thought about it, the more I thought, what an advantage for Post 22. I think the rule is stupid, but it's a great advantage for Post 22. They have more pitching depth than anyone in the tournament. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Hardhats 2, Sioux Falls East nothing. From the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box, you're listening to Post 22 Baseball on ESPN Radio.
The fun never ends at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. Satisfy your cravings anytime, day or night at Augie's Sports Bar, serving juicy certified Angus beef burgers 24 hours a day. You can always find a game with card tables open 24 hours and high-limit wagers up to $1,000. Choose from hundreds of the most popular slot games available, with new games arriving every month. We're always ready for fun and excitement at the Lodge at Deadwood, the locals' choice for 24-hour dining and gaming.
Right-hander Austin Ruland is coming in to pitch for Sioux Falls East here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We've talked so much about McSherry, and well-deserved. But let's not overlook the fine pitching performance by Matthew Graham of Sioux Falls East. He worked 7 innings, allowing 8 hits, 2 runs, and one of those runs was unearned. So he pitched a fine ball game himself and kept Sioux Falls East in the game, but it's been Riley McSherry and now Tommy Wall with a 1-2-3-8 that have just been a little bit better. at least so far.
You've really got to tip your hat to Matt Graham. 115 pitches in 7 innings. He really went above and beyond the call of duty for the Sioux Falls East team. And you've got to hope for a guy like that who threw himself on the line and his eligibility for the rest of the tournament on the line for his team, that as he watches from the dugout, Sioux Falls East keeps playing well and they keep their tournament hopes alive. Because if this score holds, they're in a real bind with 1 loss. And every day they're fighting for their lives.
Pitch is outside for the first pitch from Ruland to Timmy Paris. 1 ball, no strikes. Timmy is 1 for 3 in the game with a single. And takes the pitch low, and it's 2-0. Well, I wouldn't mind a couple of more insurance runs. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's outside, and the count runs to 3-0. One of the big advantages that Post 22 had over Sioux Falls was the power difference in these two teams. Post 22 with a tremendous amount of extra base hits compared to Sioux Falls. As the pitch is outside, it's a 4-pitch walk to Paris. And the homer ratio of the two teams, Post 22 had 40 home runs on the season, and East had only 3 home runs the entire season. So it's hard for East to come back when you can't generate a little bit more offense than they've been able to do so far. So up is Luke Ferdinand. Paris at first, bunt situation here, but Luke doesn't show bunt, takes the pitch inside for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Mitch Messer's got that look like something was amiss there. Here goes the coach, Matt Storrow, out to the mound for Sioux Falls. Action begins again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. here at Fitzgerald Stadium with Aberdeen taking on Sioux Falls West in an elimination game. And then at 1 o'clock, Mitchell will play the loser of this game, also an elimination game.
In the afternoon portion, Brandon Valley takes on Pierre. That's at 4 o'clock. And then Renner will take on the winner of this game. And that'll follow 30 minutes after.
And a pitch into Ferdinand for a strike, so it's 1-1 on Luke.
And if the Hardhats end up winning this game, they play Renner. It's a rematch of last year's title showdown. Hardhats ended up winning it.
And a strike on the outside corner to Luke, and it's 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. And that pitch hits Ferdinand. A 1-2 pitch. It came inside, and Luke hit by the pitch. Puts runners at first and second, nobody out. And coming up now is Tommy Wall. Up for his first time in the game and in a perfect situation. A bunt situation. Wall up. Todd Stevens had gone 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt in his 3 plate appearances. Now Tommy Wall in on the mound. Steps in. Pitch is down in the dirt, and it's ball 1. Well, the weather looks great for the rest of the tournament. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies with a high of 86. 1 ball and no strikes on Wall. Here's the pitch. And it's taken for a strike. Tommy kind of half-heartedly gave it a look at that pitch to bunt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not a lot of speed on the bases right now for Post 22. Here's the pitch. Checks his swing. And the pitch is a ball. They appeal down to the first base umpire, and he says he swung at the pitch. And it's 1-2 on Tommy Wall. On deck, Riley McSherry. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 on the outside corner at the knees. So Tommy is called out. First strikeout for Ruland in relief. And here's Riley McSherry.
Well, if you wanted to here, I guess you could still bunt with the 1 out. It would bring up Walker Paz in the top of the order, but at the same time, 6 of 1, half the other. It's really dealer's choice.
And there's a foul back, and it's 1 strike on McSherry, hitting .288. Riley has 4 doubles on the year, 11 RBIs. Pitched 7 great innings, now in center field. Here's the set by Ruland and the pitch. And he drops down and misses outside for a ball. It's 1-1.
Ruland has a very awkward delivery. At least that's what it looks like from here. It looks kind of disjointed, or that could really take away the vision of the batter. It's almost a deceptive delivery. You don't really see where the ball is.
McSherry hits a foul out of play down to the right field line, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And for those watching on Hardhats-TV, you can kind of see him cock back that throwing arm behind his back. It's a weird motion that he does, so I can only imagine what these hitters are seeing in the batter's box.
Ruland was 5-2 on the season for Sioux Falls. There's a ground ball to short. The throw to second, out on the first double play. McSherry hits into a 6-4-3 DP, and quickly, after post 22 had the first 2 men on, they're retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. 10 men stranded by post 22. Let's hope that doesn't come back to haunt him as we head to the 9th. Sioux Falls East will have another shot at Tommy Wall. 2-0 Hardhats. You're listening to Post 22 Baseball from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
When you're done with fads, when you're done with gimmicks and tricks and miracle cures, crash courses in rebound weight, when you're done with going it alone, when you're done with diets, there's Profile. Backed by one of the nation's largest health systems, Profile by Sanford is a personalized plan designed to improve the way you eat and live. When you're ready to get real results with Profile.
Tommy Wall had a 1-2-3 8th inning as Post 22 takes a 2-0 lead over Sioux Falls East into the top of the 9th inning here. Trying to move into the winner's bracket of the 2017 South Dakota American Legion Baseball Tournament.
Just a reminder, if the Hardhats can pull off the win in the next 3 outs, they'll take on Renner in a rematch of last year's state championship showdown, in which they beat Renner for their 4th consecutive and 41st overall state championship. That game will come 30 minutes after Pierre versus Brandon Valley. That's at 4 o'clock to start off the second half of our action.
What do you remember about that game against Renner?
I remember the Hardhats run ruled them. That was quite the blowout, and it was an exacting of revenge for Post 22 because they had lost to Renner earlier in the tournament.
There's a foul back by Matt Hedin, 1 strike.
And I also remember that it was a walk-off win to get that run rule invoked. That was 2 years in a row I've called a walk-off in the state championship. Couldn't believe it.
Don't get cocky here.
I'm just saying.
Hedin is 1 for 3. He hits another foul off to the left, and it's 0-2. He has grounded out to first, been called out on strikes, and singled to left. He has the only hit in the game for Sioux Falls East. That single in the 7th inning with 1 out and a runner at first. There's a pitch inside, and he's hit by a pitch. So Tommy Wall hits Hedin on a 2-strike pitch. And Sioux Falls gets that break. They get a runner at first base. Alex Foos coming up, the right fielder. He is lined out to center. Struck out swinging his last 2 at-bats. And he's 0 for 3. Wall out of the set delivers. A strike on the outside corner.
Well, this is a very important moment here for Post 22 defensively. The tying run is right in front of Tommy Wall in the batter's box. Got to play your cards right here.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. This is Foos' first at bat against Wall, of course. His first 3 at bats and 2 strikeouts against McSherry. Ferdinand holding with Hedin at first base. The pitch on the way is just outside a ball, and it's 1-2. Very close pitch there. And Foos has a count of 1-2.
A little too close. I'm surprised Foos didn't try and protect.
Tommy Wall out of the set. The 1-2 pitch. High with a fastball and evens the count off at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So the magic number we're going to be looking for Tommy Wall here is 30 pitches, because if you said if it's within 30, he can come back the next day. You won't have to worry about sitting the day off. He's at 15 right now, and I know he's a reliever, but just in case you need a big start out of him, you'd like to see him not have to sit so many days out.
2-2 pitch is lined out to shortstop Bowman. He gloves it, throw to first, double play. Cooper Bowman moving to his left to catch that line drive. It wasn't a rocket or anything, but Cooper got over there quickly and doubled off Hedin from first base with a base running mistake. 2 outs and nobody on. And Mitchell Tolk coming up, the third baseman.
Remember when you said earlier after signing you think Cooper's a little relaxed? This is probably the most relaxed we've ever seen, and it's a high-pressure scenario.
Fastball misses inside to Tolk for ball 1.
I mean, we all knew that Cooper was a very confident and very calm baseball player, but my goodness, that was just effortless.
Tolk, the number 3 hitter, 0 for 2 tonight with a walk, and the pitch up over his head, and it's ball 2. Tolk is lined to right, grounded out to short, with a walk in between. Two balls, no strikes. The pitch on the way. Strike on the low outside corner. And it's 2-1. Last out here for Sioux Falls. 2-0. Post 22 leading top of the 9th inning. The pitch on the way is a strike at the knees. And it's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the way. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Tolk is called out. Great pitching for the Hardhats tonight from Riley McSherry and Tommy Wall. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left for Sioux Falls. The final score, the Hardhats 2, Sioux Falls East 0. Mark and I'll return with the totals and highlights of tonight's game here on ESPN Radio Rapid City and the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box in just a moment. Well, Mark Benetti, if you could script this any better for Coach Mitch Messer, involving everything, the pitching rules, the pitch counts, the game, the performance of the team, a 2-0 win. Cooper Bowman The top hitter on the season has struggled a bit down the stretch, goes 4 for 4 tonight with 3 doubles, 2 RBIs, the base hit, the double in the 5th inning that scored both hard-hat runs. Riley McSherry works 7 innings, gives up 1 hit, walks 2, fans 5, throws 72 pitches. And Tommy Wall comes in, throws 2 innings of shutout baseball, throws less than the 30 pitches, and you win the first game of the state tournament 2-0. Is there anything you can complain about?
Well, if I'm the American Legion, I'm not complaining about anything because they can look at every other team and say, see, the Hardhats weren't affected by the rules, so I guess we're going to keep them. That's not great argument on their side, but the point is the point. It is what it is. But you're absolutely right. How perfectly could that have been drawn up for Coach Messer and the coaching staff? That has to be such a weight off of their chest right now, knowing that their pitching can be efficient. And now, if let's say they do get into pitching trouble tomorrow, hopefully they don't, but let's say they do. Now you still have the depth at your hands. You don't have to worry about trying to shuffle things around. You've got some leeway. Not a ton. You've got some leeway, but you're already a day ahead of the action. And again, like you said, you could not have drawn that up any better. So kudos to Mitch Messer, but more importantly, kudos to this Hardhats team for buying in, believing in each other, buying into each other, and getting the job done in what was a very tight ball game.
Well, there's one thing I'll nitpick on then. The only problem tonight with this game was Post 22 could have scored a lot more runs. They left 10 men on base. It took Cooper Bowman's clutch hit to score those 2, but when you look back at some of these situations, they had runners at second and third with 1 out in the 2nd inning in a scoreless game and failed to score. They got a runner to third with 1 out in the 4th inning, failed to score. They got the 2 runs in on Bowman's double, but after that, they had runners at second and third, nobody out, 2 runs in, failed to score any more runs. And then in the 7th inning, they had runners at first and second, 2 outs, didn't score. And then in the 8th inning, they had first and second, nobody out, and failed to score. So there were a lot of opportunities there for the Hardhats to run up the run total a little bit, but that's really irrelevant at this point. It's a 2-0 win, and Post 22 goes into the winner's bracket now tomorrow.
And that means that they'll take on Renner in a rematch of last year's state championship showdown in which the Hardhats 10-run Renner to take their 4th consecutive title. That game is going to be played 30 minutes after Brandon Valley and Pierre play at 4 o'clock. That is game 1 of the winner's bracket. So Brandon Valley against Pierre, Renner against Post 22. Those are crucial winner's bracket games. In the morning, we start off at 10 a.m. Aberdeen will take on Sioux Falls West. And then 30 minutes following that, Mitchell will play Sioux Falls East. And those last 2 games we just mentioned, all 4 of those teams are playing for their playoff lives tomorrow morning. So a lot more crucial baseball to be played.
Matt Graham pitched a fine game for Sioux Falls East. He worked 7 innings, gave up only 2 runs on 8 hits for Sioux Falls East. 1 of the runs against him was unearned. The final totals in the game, Post 22 wins with 2 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. They stranded 10. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 4 left for Sioux Falls East. Riley McSherry, the winner, his 10th win of the season. Riley is now 10-1. Tommy Wall picks up his 2nd save of the season. Post 22 now 50 wins on the season. They're 50-7. Sioux Falls East drops to 31-25. You're looking at me like
you've got 3 words to say?
Yes, and that you want me to say these 3 words real quickly.
I don't want you to say them real quickly, but if you do say them, then we all know what that means.
Before I say them, I do want to say again what a nice honor that Patty Plouffe received before the game tonight from the American Legion on behalf of Dave Plouffe, from the governor's office proclaiming today Dave Plouffe Day, and then the unveiling of uniform 34 out there on the left field fence in left field, which will forever be retired here at Post 22. So having said all that, capped off by a hard hat win and a game at 7:30 tomorrow night against Winner, you want 3 words, right?
3 words, yes.
Good night, Mark.
Good night, Tom. We will see you tomorrow for winner's bracket action. Hardhats and Renner, 30 minutes after Pierre and Brandon Valley at 4 p.m. For my partner, Tom Rudabush, our director of Hardhats-TV, Destin Human, Mark Benetti, saying so long, good night. We'll see you tomorrow for day 2 of the South Dakota American Legion Baseball State Championship Tournament.